What's up, Vikings Nation? If you thought the quarterback drama in Minnesota was cooling off, think again. Because today's Minnesota Vikings news is turning up the heat in a way that could define the entire 2026 season. After just a handful of starts in 2025, J.J. McCarthy is already at the center of a firestorm. And with the pressure to return to playoff football higher than ever, the big question is simple. Are the Vikings really ready to ride or die with their young QB? Let's break this down together, because what's happening right now inside the Minnesota Vikings organization could shape the franchise for years to come. The Vikings are not publicly giving up on J.J. McCarthy after limited action last season. The sample size is small and development takes time, especially for a young quarterback transitioning fully into an NFL offense. But here's the twist. Some NFL analysts believe the Vikings can't afford patience. After missing out on deep postseason success again, the margin for error in 2026 feels razor thin. And when you look at the expectations around this roster, the weapons, the coaching, the defensive investments, you start to understand why this debate is getting louder. According to The Athletic's Derek Klassen, Minnesota may need to seriously consider moving on. On The Athletic Football Show, he didn't sugarcoat it. Klassen suggested that if the Vikings are truly in win-now mode, betting on McCarthy's long-term growth might not align with the urgency of the moment. In his view, the team should be exploring stronger, more immediate options. That's a bold take, Vikings fans. Moving on from a first-round talent this early would send shockwaves through the league. But then co-host Robert Mays added another layer to the conversation. He admitted he doesn't have overwhelming confidence in McCarthy based on what we've seen so far. Still, he also said giving up after around 10 games feels extreme. And honestly, that's where a lot of us as fans are torn. Because here's the real dilemma. Development versus urgency. Growth versus results. Hope versus certainty. From the Vikings' perspective, and especially from head coach Kevin O'Connell's standpoint, 2026 cannot be a wasted season. The NFC landscape isn't getting easier. If McCarthy needs another full year of ups and downs, can this roster afford it? That's the million-dollar question in Minnesota Vikings news right now. And if he struggles early next season, the noise will be deafening. So what are the Vikings' options this offseason? There are essentially three paths. Option 1. Sign a reliable backup. A veteran who supports McCarthy, provides stability, but doesn't threaten his job. That signals long-term belief in JJ. Option 2. Bring in a legitimate competitor. Someone capable of pushing him in camp and potentially taking over if things go south. That's controlled pressure. Option 3. Go all in on a quarterback who clearly beats him out. That's not competition, that's replacement. Now, the rumor mill has already started linking Minnesota to veteran names like Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins. And that's where things get even more interesting. Former Vikings legend John Randall recently weighed in on Purple Daily, and he didn't hold back. He made it clear he's not enthusiastic about pursuing Carr. He also hinted that revisiting a reunion with Cousins feels like going backwards. From his perspective, the Vikings need something different. Something more. Not necessarily a superstar, but a quarterback who can manage the offense, elevate the moment, and deliver more than just flashes. And that brings us back to the heart of this debate. What do the Minnesota Vikings truly want to be in 2026? Are they building patiently around J.J. McCarthy, trusting the process and betting on development? Or are they pivoting aggressively to maximize a roster that believes it's ready to contend now? Because if they move on and McCarthy flourishes elsewhere in 2 years, that decision will haunt the franchise. But if they stick with him and miss the playoffs again, that could cost leadership credibility. Vikings fans, I want to hear from you. Do you believe J.J. McCarthy deserves a full 2026 season as the unquestioned starter? Or should the Vikings bring in serious competition? Or even a replacement? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is one of the biggest off-season decisions in recent Minnesota Vikings history, and your voice matters. If you love staying locked in on Minnesota Vikings news, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with every member of Vikings Nation. Let's keep this conversation going, because the road to 2026 starts right now. Skol.